Good morning, children. Let us continue with the physical properties of metals. Already we have discussed certain physical properties of the metals. Next property we have to see that metals are good conductors of electricity. That is why, children, generally for making electrical wires we use metals. And as the next property we can see that they are sonorous in nature. Sonorous means they produce sound. You can see that suppose if you just put a metallic box down, it produces some sound. That is why we consider that metals are sonorous in nature. Now before start studying about the chemical properties, let us just see what are non-metals or how we can compare the physical properties of non-metals. Can you tell me what is the electronic configuration of chlorine? Yes, chlorine just needs one electron to complete its octet. So chlorine generally shows a tendency to gain one electron and forms chloride ion. Okay. Another example you consider oxygen. Oxygen needs just two electrons to complete their octet. So oxygen shows a tendency to gain two electrons and form oxide ions. So this type of elements which shows a tendency to gain electron and form electronegative ions and form anions are termed as non-metals. Is it clear? Or electronegative elements. The substances, the elements which shows a tendency to gain electron to attain stability is termed as non-metals, or they are otherwise called electronegative elements. Now let us compare the physical properties of non-metals with metals. Already we have studied about metals. In case of metals, we have seen that metals generally exist in solid state. And exceptions also we have seen. Mercury is the common exception, or gallium exists as a liquid at room temperature. Here we can say that non-metals generally exist in all three states of matter. They generally exist in all three states of matter. Okay, again we can say that bromine is the only liquid non-metal at room temperature. Okay, bromine is the only liquid non-metal at room temperature. So generally we can say that non-metal exists in all three states of matter, but metals you can see in solid state. Second one, we can say that metals are generally hard in nature. On the other hand, non-metals are generally soft. If you consider carbon, sulfur, etc., these are all non-metals which are generally soft. Third one, we can say that metals generally possesses high melting and boiling point. Metals generally possesses high melting and boiling point, but non-metals have low melting and boiling point. Then we have seen that metals possesses a shining surface which is termed as metallic luster. Metal possesses metallic luster, but non-metals are non-metallic. They don't have a shining surface, so no lustrous nature. But again we can say that iodine possesses a shining surface, that is an exception. Otherwise generally non-metals are non-lustrous in nature. Next one, we have seen that metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, and generally non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. But again we know an exception. Graphite, which is an allotropic form of carbon, is a very good conductor of heat as well as electricity. Is it clear? That is generally graphite we are using it as electrode since it is a good conductor. Next one, we can say that metals are malleable as well as ductile in nature. Metals are malleable and ductile in nature, but non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile in nature. Non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile in nature. Next, as the last property, we can say that metals are generally sonorous in nature. They make sound, they are sonorous in nature, but non-metals are not sonorous in nature. Okay. That is, let me repeat it again. Metals generally exist as solids, but non-metals exist in all three states of matter. Metals are generally hard, but non-metals are soft. Metals possesses high melting and boiling point. Non-metals possesses low melting and boiling point. Metals have a shining surface which is termed as metallic luster. Non-metals are non-lustrous in nature. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, but non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Metals are malleable and ductile. Non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile in nature. Metals are sonorous in nature. Non-metals are non-sonorous in nature. Is it clear, children? That is about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Next class we can start with chemical properties. Thank you.